Welcome back to the Barca Breakdown. My name is Yusuf, and I'm here with my co-host Adam.
Hey guys, strap yourselves in because this is going to be a long and awful season. After that Levante game, thought maybe we had a chance to catapult into a good week. We've been hyping up this October against Atletico Madrid, Valencia, and Real Madrid for, 2 months, 3 months now. And, really 2-0 loss at Atletico Madrid. Luis Suarez scoring against us, doing the telephone to kind of troll Koeman. Thomas Lemar connecting with Suarez for that first goal. Just rudimentary passes just seem to cut up our defense, you know? You think you're talking about, facing, Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, Ronaldo, Benzema at the peak of their abilities, the way that they're, passing through us. But it's just really just such simple play, and our team can't do anything. And it's just the Swiss cheese defense is back. On an offense, the players just have no idea what's going on. I mean, this is really, really a nightmare scenario. And I know people don't like everyone being negative, right? You see a lot of the big accounts, Talk FCB, other accounts. Sure. Everyone's really dreary right now and negative, and that can be a lot to take on as a fan. But at some point, 3-0 Bayern. Okay, hey guys, we might have a chance. Let's just come back and we'll do okay, right? Cadiz, Levante, Benfica, 3-0 loss. Atletico, 2-0 loss. Sure. I mean, we're ready for some tough moments. And what's so crazy, Yus, as I go on this little bit of a rant here, is that Laporta just had the comments before the game today saying that Koeman has our trust. He'll be able to, be our coach. We don't have any plans to change him immediately. Reports are that somehow Koeman convinced Laporta that once everyone's healthy, which is only Dembele and Aguero now, that the team will change, and somehow Dembele and Aguero will make our defense whole and our midfield be able to actually do something. It'll make Pique and Busquets actually, good, not like these old dinosaurs who are out there just playing on their reputation.
Take a breath, Adam.
Okay.
That was a long rant, but listen, I know what you're trying to say here.
We're screwed.
We're screwed. We're breaking down at the fundamentals of soccer, and I think that's why we're so upset.
It's like all the players have no idea what to play, right? You see just an incredible amount of nothing. There's no movement. There's no plan. We've gone back to this whole crossing game. We played a lot better without Luc de Jong, right?
Sure.
But again, there's just no plan, right? We here's the thing. Even though Koeman was in the stands, right, because of that red card, and Schroeder with his, we couldn't see the pants, but he was out there, coaching the team. Sure. We got the lineup I think almost we would have wanted, right? We got Mingueza right back, Dest left, then we had Pique and Araujo, then we had Nico, Busquets, Gavi, then we had Coutinho, Depay, and Ter Stegen out there as well. And so it was, and Frankie de Jong, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
It was just really, really rough.
Yeah, but okay, let's get into that lineup, right? I know we've had some injuries, so that's why we're playing this. As we saw in the game before.
Is it, though? We only have Pedri and Dembele and Aguero injured.
No, but in general, our attack and, But last game we didn't play Mingueza, so we saw the Mingueza on the right side. We're like, okay, we got some more unity here. We got some more wholesomeness to our strategy.
What we thought we'd been practicing.
Sure.
Right? It's like we didn't like the 3-5-2, and we wanted to see the 4-3-3, and that's what we got.
But really, this game going into it, a lot of the air was that there's just no way Barcelona was going to beat Atletico Madrid away at their stadium. It just didn't make sense at the core of this whole issue.
You expect us to put up a fight,
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. At the core of this whole issue, it's not that we lose these games. It's the manner in which we lose the games. Benfica was an awful loss. Today is an awful loss. We just looked so in shambles that I think the most upsetting thing about Laporta saying we support Koeman is that Koeman
How could you?
Yeah, he's just doing his strategies aren't
Nothing is working.
good.
I think he's lost the team, right? Is the phrase they always say about a coach and his team. Is like, I feel like he's lost the team. Like, you see that moment where Busquets and Pique are arguing. I mean, neither of them had a good game. Pique looked absolutely shambolic today. Busquets also just looks so lazy and doesn't do anything on defense. And also, he had one nice pass to Coutinho that it was not even that nice because Coutinho couldn't get it. Pique, I felt like anytime the ball came near him, he would just clear it wherever he wanted. No care in the world about making any sort of, play out of the back build up. I mean, it's impossible for me to imagine that a different coach wouldn't have any benefits here.
Oh,
right?
100%.
And it's impossible for me to imagine that somehow Koeman is the guy. I mean,
no.
we're gonna come up against Valencia and Real Madrid in the next 2 weeks, and we're gonna have a really hard time winning those. And I don't know if we're gonna be in the Champions League next year. We're not gonna get top 4.
Sure.
I almost certainly think we'll be out of the group stages in the Champions League. This is really like the most nightmare scenario possible. And as Thomas Engel, right, he texted me, the one bright side of this is it really shows how good Messi was, that he was able to prop up this team for so long.
True.
But, without Messi, it's really just like all those issues that used to show, right? Like we used to say Valverde has Messi save us all the time. Even those teams had something there. This team was just deteriorated over the last 5-6 years into such a disorganized mess. It's just so upsetting.
Yeah, but that's not there's a lot of factors here, and the biggest factor is that when you have someone that can't direct the team to even playing in a style that gives them hope, it's like all the players on the pitch are fighting for themselves. At the beginning of this game, we saw Frankie de Jong pushing on the offense. He did a good job, but he couldn't create. He's not Messi, right? And he's not a player that can do something as magical, but he is fighting, but it seems like he's fighting by himself. Depay trying to get some space, can't do it. Des is sitting in the corner, covered by a bunch of Atletico defensive men. What is he supposed to do? Then you have Araujo and Pique in the back. Just seems like playing by themselves.
Simple passes.
For sure.
I mean, that I feel like saying playing by themselves takes some weight off of how bad they were, but honestly, just everyone on this team did not play well today. I thought Coutinho, of all the players, was the one who might have been the best. I mean, he actually seemed like, he was creating some chances, but again, it's a really low bar our team set. And you look at Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone, and you think, wow, that's a team who understand how to play defense. And, I'm not Albert Einstein here. You could have said the same thing for the last, decade almost, because that's what his teams do. But when you see that compared to our team, especially this year, right, Valverde had a pretty good defense, had us pretty, set up to defend well and at least get a draw in almost every game. Compared to this team, it's just night and day, right? The way Atletico had that block set up to make sure that we didn't get any threat. Like you said, every time Dest got the ball, and Dest is someone that we hope from the wings can at least create some offense, he was just surrounded by defenders, and all of his passing outlets were covered.
Let's not forget that we played awfully and that Atletico Madrid took advantage of that situation. Their defense was great. I don't think we were going to score the whole time, but there were times in the game in which we just completely dropped the ball, leaving Suarez open completely, leaving Lamar open completely. I don't know, man.
It's going to be tough, man.
It's going to be tough.
We're coming up against Valencia next weekend. Then we have Dynamo Kiev in the Champions League midweek, and then we come up, I believe, after that against Real Madrid again. It is just...
But let me ask you,
Correction, by the way, we have 2 weeks off, which could help us out. Our next game is against Valencia, but that's not until the 17th of October, so we have 2 weeks off for international break.
Sure.
Oh,
but what can Koeman do different? Because he obviously doesn't know what he's doing. But at this point, if he's saying I need Dembele, I need Fati to come in, or
think about it. That's what's so ridiculous. Like the premise of what you're going to ask is ridiculous because he was the one who said, "I need Luke De Jong."
True.
And he has been so bad. we consistently play worse with him than we do with him on the pitch, right? And I think what just is so crazy is we keep seeing Araujo running up to the front of the offense in the 80th plus minute because the team has no plan to score. It's just cross, and pray. And then we're praying with a team that's not good at headers, right? And so it's just baffling to me.
He put in Lenglet and then covered the back, and then he had Araujo push forward. What a crazy strategy that our center backs are having to come forward to create any type of offense, and that we put in a defensive player so we can move a center back forward. It's honestly crazy the tactics he's choosing to employ during these tough times. It just seems like he thinks that these off-the-cuff decisions are somehow going to throw Atletico off of the scent here.
What's been clear is Koeman he's bad at all aspects of coaching, right?
True.
And in-game management is especially tough. And
100%.
so there's nothing, I wish it was so easy to be like, okay, we'll get a new coach in and they'll revolutionize it. Because a lot of what people saw last season, which is why this idea is somewhat popular, I think, is because Frank Lampard came into a Chelsea team, right, led them for the first half of the season. They looked pretty bad. Then they got Thomas Tuchel. He came in. He led them to win the Champions League. And so there is that example of a coaching change mid-season that has worked out well. But you look at Barca, right? We subbed Valverde for Setien, really went bad.
Awful.
And I don't know if we're going to be able to make that change. And I don't think the coaching options like Tuchel are out there right now, except for like Conte. He's the only one I feel like has the experience that could really like change things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we put in Xavi, we're going to leave him screwed, putting him into a situation that's not good and then have the fans be mad at him. I feel like no other options out there are really that good for us to take over. And so I understand why Laporta is saying, hey, support Koeman, because basically he's like, if we switch anyone now, they're going to be screwed too.
Sure.
So why don't we just let Koeman get all the blame for one season, take it up as a big L? I mean, you know, it'll probably continue on for a few seasons, but at least the coach who comes in next season will kind of start from the ground up. Maybe we finish top 10 in La Liga this
Don't
season.
say that.
I mean, hopefully we finish top 10, and then that coach comes in. You know, you finish 10th the season before, at least the burden of expectations won't be on them.
That's true.
It's just, it sucks. And it feels so like a betrayal of how good Barca have been for the last, 15 years. And even for 40 years, they've been really good. But every once in a while, the team does need this chance to just kind of crush it all down and then build up from the ashes.
But to that point, we're not playing any type of particular football. We're playing
cross.
Pick a strategy that doesn't make sense with our play style and our players. None of those players play like that normally. So during practice, that's not happening. So, like, what is going on? What are these options? And at the same time, I'm like, well, Laporta is saying let's support his whatever he's doing just because I think it's a political move. I think at the time, like you're saying, we don't have another option.
Well, what do you expect him to say? If he were to say, Koeman sucks and I want to get rid of him.
But I can't.
I mean, he already did that this summer. He already said that.
Yeah.
And then if he says it now, it's just like, okay, well, then you're failing your job by not firing him immediately, right? Like, it is political, you're right,
Sure.
but, like, it's really the only thing he can say.
Yeah.
And that goes to the heart of what we've been talking about, is Laporta throughout this whole scenario, right? There was a time in, I think, March or April when Laporta comes in, and it seemed like everyone felt like, oh, my God, all of our issues are gone. We got Laporta. He's going to build us back up to what we were in 2008, 9, and 10. And the weeks go by and it just feels more and more like we got a politician who kind of gassed us up on some ideas. And once reality hit, wasn't able to deliver. There's been some shady things around the Super League, around the Messi signing, about how he's dealt with Koeman. If he didn't like him in the summer, why did you even let him come in this season? I know it's because we didn't want to pay him like the fee to get rid of him, but
yeah, but I agree with you. But at the end of the day, it's like going into the next few weeks, I'm just dreading watching Barcelona play in games where it's so heartless. It's not a team that I want to. It's not fun to watch.
Oh no,
right?
I see some of the fans who are in like Australia or Africa or Asia, and they're like, I have to wake up at what time to watch this team? Like, before when you're in college and Barca have like like 6 years ago, like, oh my God, Barca have a 4 a.m. game. Like, I gotta get up. I want to see Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. What are they gonna do? Even 3 years ago, right? You're in Japan, like, oh, I gotta see the Clasico. Like, what's gonna happen? Does this team have a shot? Now it's really hard to get excited for these games because you just, this game against Atletico was so predictable and how bad we were, and it just feels like every game is like that. And so, I wish we had more optimistic news, but
I think everybody knows.
Yeah, you have to be honest. You don't want to spend this whole time here just ragging on the players and the coach, but with the level of performance being out there, it's not like we can sit here and be happy or give you some sort of, sugar-coated idea that, oh, it'll be better if we switch out to Xavi and 2 months later we'll, win the Champions League. Like, it just doesn't really seem like we have that in us. I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, I totally agree. I think at the end of the day, we just have to kind of roll with the punches as we go on because nothing we do is going to change.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while. I know it's a rebuilding stage. Things are going to happen. We still have a lot of injured players. It's a roller coaster, and we've talked about this. You're in the past, the tale of two cities, but now I think it's shifted to just one city in which
awful sad,
play.
Depressing play. Well, hit that subscribe button, guys, because we have some more videos of us, unfortunately, covering what's going on with Barca. But hey, thank you guys so much. We will see you 2 weeks off for the international break.
Sure.
If there's any news coming out about a new coach, we will definitely make a video or podcast. So thank you guys so much. Have a nice weekend.
Have a good one.